like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, heck, we're even on TikTok. We're excited to engage with you. We hope you'll join us moving forward.
Good morning, everyone. It's Andrew with The Market Mindset. Today, it's a real thrill to speak with the president and director of Desert Mountain Energy, Don Mosher. Of course, we've been speaking to Robert Rolfing for years now, for quite a while, but now it's a chance to talk with the president, Don Mosher. We're really excited. Mr. Mosher has 35 years of experience in corporate finance, business development. He's been in the mineral space, oil and gas, you name it. And in fact, recently he was a director and vice president of capital markets for Hempco Foods and Fibers, which was instrumental in negotiations between the merger of Hempco and Aurora Cannabis. So a lot of big name deals. He's been well known in the community. We're real excited. We're going to talk about what's ahead, what we did last year and what's ahead for the year ahead. We're really looking forward to this one. Let's go talk to Don right now. So good morning. Great to have you, Mr. Mosher. Great to have you on the show. How are you doing? We're early, first 10 days of January 2022. We've got a lot to catch up on 2021 and looking forward into 2022. But let's just deal with today. How are you doing today?
We're doing great. I mean, the overall big markets have me a little concerned, but the direction we're going, I'm quite happy with.
Excellent. Well, that's kind of the narrative I stick to too. There's lots to be concerned out there. So, I'm of the side of it's a market picker's time right now. If you can find those gems amidst a lot of noise, then you're going to be well served. And this has certainly been a gem for me. I'm a big supporter, a big fan. Even when we had a bit of a pullback in 2021, it's not deterring, because what we're focusing on here is we look to companies and management teams that are building businesses, real businesses, not just a return.
Yeah, I mean, that's our goal as well. I kind of got introduced to the company by accident back in June of 2020. I'm going to start losing track of the years now. And just started buying the stock at 35 cents as a casual investor. And I didn't do any due diligence on it at all. And then out of the blue, Rob phoned me up about a week after I started buying the stock and introduced himself. And we've kind of built a relationship over the phone. And by the middle of August, I was, VP of finance, a member of the board. Rob had taken over as CEO. I didn't even meet Rob until October of 2021.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
So, we took over a company that was trading at, by then he drilled the first two holes and the stock was 65 cents, at about $600,000 in the treasury. And, we've been successful raising over $29 million on the one financing, which was partly thanks to your radio interview and a couple of other things that happened that pushed the stock up through, 350 and allowed us to bring in the warrants. So now we're very well financed. We've only done the one financing in the year and a half that Rob and myself have run the company. And that's given Rob the opportunity to build a team. And I don't think people realize how big of a deal that is, because prior to us starting, with Rob starting to build that team, it was really Rob juggling all these different balls. He had to maintain leases, acquire new leases, apply for drill permits, order in, well casing, like all that stuff was all Rob. And now that we've got Jessica Davey as VP of land, she deals with the land lease issues and buying surface rights and dealing with the Oil and Gas Commission and the Land Commission. And we've got Eric Witt that came in, a drilling operations manager. You're aware of how difficult well number 4 was. And fortunately, Eric came on right at the start of that drilling program, and I think kept, Rob probably out of the hospital because it would have fatigued him to that point.
Yeah.
And then we hired on James Hayes as VP of engineering. So now we've got a team that is working together, not only, on drilling expertise, but they've now put together the finishing facility, and we're looking to assemble that in the second quarter and go into startup production.
Yeah, this is really the year. And, COVID has had a big impact on all sorts of companies. And we've talked about it, different interviews, supply chain issues, and you guys been very forward thinking in regards to that, transporting things, solving that issue on yourself. But I think that current theme of people don't, sometimes when it's too good to be true and its stock just climbs and climbs, people just expect that to keep on happening. And there won't ever be a hiccup. There won't ever be issues. And they're unforgiving, to say the least, if they don't see things or get things their way. And to me, because of the constant contact and absolute faith in the management and what you guys have done, and also the intricacies of trying to do the company, never mind to do a vertically integrated company that's green and clean. I mean, the amount of work that needs, it is astonishing.
Fortunately, Rob's been working on this for 20 years. So he's thought a lot of this stuff out on a long-term basis, which allows him to really look at all kinds of options and be quite flexible. And having cash in the treasury is really a big advantage because we can pre-order and pay for stuff. We don't have to run debt. On production casing, we saved, 30 or 40% by pre-ordering stuff. We're prepaying drilling costs. So when we announced, that we had contracted a rig capable of 16,000 feet the other day, that's due to the fact that we can put some money up front, get priority on a rig. Now we're in good position moving forward on drilling. And what was really important about getting that rig wasn't the depth it can drill to, but the pulling capacity. So you're not getting stuff stuck in the ground.
Aha.
And that was one of the issues we had with well number 4. The rig really didn't give us some of those options, and we had to look at specialty tools and, different things happening downhole, as well as weather, fires, crew issues. There was the whole gamut. And now with that rig, we'll have the pulling capacity. Rob's going on a cruise while we're drilling.
The work's already done. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, he deserves it.
Well, yeah. I mean, so he can trust James and Eric.
Yes.
Who are both very experienced drillers to take over that drilling program. And they've got a rig that can help them deal with downhole issues.
A great start. Like I said, this is an incredible start to the year. If someone was to look at this and go, is the market optimistic and is that base optimistic? Certainly would seem that's the case.
Well, we've got a new corporate presentation up on the website now, and I put a timeline slide in there. And if you take a look at our timeline, we're planning on drilling 7 wells this year, and 3 of them are going to be wildcats, with the balance being offset. So in the next week or so, we're going to start drilling our first offset to number 4 on the McCAULEY field. We'll drill another well, and then we'll move over to a wildcat. Gunner Dome is the name of it. And I think what the company's demonstrated over the last year and a half, or Rob's demonstrated, is that his geological model holds up. He's 4 for 4 on wildcats.
Yes.
So it's not a question if Desert Mountain Energy can find helium.
Yeah.
Can Desert Mountain Energy then take those wells, produce helium, refine helium, and sell helium to end users? Now, we have announced that we're signing NDAs,
yes,
non-disclosure agreements with different end users. We have gone through all the paperwork to supply the U.S. government. So I think from that standpoint, if we can finish the helium to 4.9 helium, somebody's going to buy it off us.
Sure.
Question is can we get that facility, which is going to be the first solar hydrogen powered facility anywhere in the world, refining helium? We're pretty confident in it. I mean, you're going to be using electricity either way. I don't care if you're producing it off solar panels, you're running into a grid.
Yeah.
You've got a generator running off of diesel. In our case, we're going to be backing it up with hydrogen because it's coming out of our well. We might as well use our own fuel.
Yeah.
But what it does is it makes us, a zero carbon helium producer and hopefully vertically integrated helium company selling at multiples to what crude helium sells for.
Yes. This is the big story. And I think this is what people were hoping for. Like you have like no supply chain issues, no COVID, no nothing. You go, all right, what we want to see is we want to see this plant. We want to see that it's green, it's ESG, it's friendly, it hits all these standards, and you're producing. And I think we've got the poking around, which is I think is part of this market. People are excited. They're like, ooh, okay, they're working again here. We're going to get some news, some data. And then of course what big news will be then the production of it. And this is the year. This is going to be a big year.
That's definitely it. So we'll be drilling, between now and March, we'll have drilled 3 wells. Starting in April, we'll start to see the delivery. Well, actually, they'll start building the components at NextGen, and then they'll move the containers onto the site, which is prepared. And that was basically grading it and leveling it off. Set it up, set the container units up there, hook them all together, and then go through the startup process and start to optimize through third quarter with full production, starting in the third quarter and graduating into the fourth quarter. We're not brave enough to put out any revenue numbers right now or any projections at all.
No,
because we don't even know what we're going to be putting in the plant other than what data we have on well number 4 and 2. We'll know a lot more once we drill the 2 offsets, and any additional expansion or modification on components and stuff we can add on to what we're going to be putting on the McCAULEY field site.
So, we're going to have a lot of news flow. There's no surprise. And there's lots of work going on. What are some of the things, and we know you're drilling, so there's going to be results pretty soon. That's the main thing people are looking at now. And then I think it's roughly, second quarter, you're looking for the plant. Is that around then?
Yeah, we should have it fully assembled and ready for startup by the end of Q2.
Yeah.
So construction on the plant's scheduled to start in April. Mobilization and moving it to the project, I would say in March. Having it up and running sometime in June, and then run through the optimization program in the third quarter. And in the meantime, starting in September, we'll be starting to drill more wells. We've got 2 wildcats, and both those wildcats are looking to have offset wells drilled, depending on their success, obviously.
Excellent. Well, this, like I said, I'm not shy about my how impressed I am with the company, and I suspect it's going to be a banner year. I have to be careful what I say, but this is a company I've been thrilled about. I think this year is going to be very exciting, and the news flow is going to be coming, and there's lots of good news on the horizon, and that's despite that there is lots of chaos in the markets. There's lots of bad news out there. This is a stand apart issue where it's meeting a critical need. You're doing all these agreements, to make this vertical chain integrated, and having a government role their buyer is a huge plus. That's a big deal. And we're not going to talk about numbers. We're not going to talk about what that exactly means, because let's wait till we have all the data. But that gives certainly me a lot of confidence too, moving forward, that there's that. And it's not even price protection. It's a very hungry buyer.
Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to have an issue with the demand side. Having a domestic supply of helium in the US, I think, even from a military and national strategic standpoint, is absolutely critical. You don't want to be dependent on Qatar or Russia, anything like that. And anything that they do produce in Canada, I think, is a bonus to North America.
Yeah.
I'm their biggest fans. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I hope everybody's successful in the space.
And I like that. And also bear in mind too, if you're talking shipping, I'd much rather be, moving shipping, by ground and around North America than attempting to be sending anything by containers right now. And then that cost of a container has gone through the roof. And I don't anticipate they're coming down this year either. So
no, fuel costs, the oil and gas sector is the hottest sector out there right now.
Yes.
And, you can point directly at political policies that I think are unrealistic. You are not going to replace oil and gas in the foreseeable future.
No.
You can talk about it all you want, but until they build the infrastructure to carry it, I'm in a building that's got, I don't know, we probably have 40 suites in this building, brand new building. It's 2.5 years old. And there are 2 electrical plug-ins for Teslas.
Yeah, that's it.
We've all got 2 parking spots, so call it 80 vehicles with 2 plugins.
And this is a new in a very green province, a very green forward-thinking city.
You don't get greener than here.
Yes,
I mean, the bike lanes aren't getting a lot of use right now because of the snow, but we got lots of them.
Yes, yes. So, and I'm glad you point that out, because someone can look around and just see, like, are we there yet? No. So, you have to wade through a lot of this, a lot of hype and a lot of government talk and ambition and whatnot to wade through what's reality. And in that's where the opportunity to make money is as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've put an ESG policy in place. I mean, we're very concerned about the environment. Basically, all downhole drilling additives are all food grade. From the social side, our board has got 3 women on it. We brought Jessica on as well as VP of Land Management. We're continuing to look for talent of every race, color, creed. We do not care as long as you're qualified. And, we do our best to stay on top of corporate governance. It's very important to us. I've watched a lot of companies that don't follow those rules. And if you have any plans on graduating to a higher listing or anything like that, you better deal with it and not have any issues.
Excellent. Well, and I mean, we will leave it at that, because I know it's kind of people humming around on the boards and forums, and we've kind of hinted at it before, but the possibility of a NASDAQ listing coming to Desert Mountain, I mean, that's dependent on a number of factors, but I'm sure that's a possibility for the year or end of the year.
We'll have to see how everything moves forward. Yeah, we do have ambitions of uplisting. We haven't done anything that's a full commitment yet.
Yeah.
We want to see how the drilling goes. We want to see how the market reacts to it. I wouldn't want to have a listing prior to looking at production.
Sure.
I mean, you wouldn't want to go to NASDAQ without revenue, and we don't have revenue right now. But all those plans are obviously our ambition. We have an ambition to be a vertically integrated helium producer. We have an ambition to, return shareholder value to our shareholders. All that stuff is in the cards for us.
Excellent. Well, Don, it was a real pleasure to catch up with you, and I really appreciate the time. I'm pretty excited about the year ahead. I'm sure you are. That also means a ton more work for you as well. And but I certainly hope and I feel you'll be well rewarded for it. So thanks for your wisdom and your education and the insight on this, and enjoy the rest of your day.
Great. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for your support. It's been great.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.